So we finally have a new date for the Nintendo Direct, being tomorrow, September 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, at least in the United States, which was implied by the 3 p.m. Pacific Time, but whatever. It is apparently going to be 35 minutes still, the exact same length as before, which might suggest not a whole lot has changed. But hey, you never know, maybe they slotted in a whole bunch of new announcements to make up for the ones that already came out. So we're back to do something unprecedented for us, and that's give even more predictions for the same Nintendo Direct. But this time, presumably, a little bit more accurate because of some things we've learned since the original announcement. And I'm going to go right into my first prediction here. I think this Direct might be a little bit awkward because we've actually learned a lot that was going to be in that Direct, presumably, since the Direct aired with all the third-party announcements coming out, as well as a couple of first-party ones. So I guess let me just give a really quick recap of everything we know now that was presumably going to be in the Direct. Again, we don't know for sure it was going to be in the Direct, but they were probably going to be in the Direct. So first up is actually right before the original Direct was supposed to air, we got a leak from Nintendo.com of Yoshi's official Switch title being Yoshi's Crafted World. So yeah, seemingly that was going to be in the Direct, announce the full title, and we'll get more into that later. I'm going chronological order here, by the way. So after that, we had an announcement of Civilization 6 coming to Nintendo Switch. Then we had the announcement of a Mega Man 11 demo available immediately with a one-day head start on Nintendo Switch, which we've already covered exhaustively. So that would have been a cool thing for the Direct. Then we got the announcement that Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD is coming to Nintendo Switch. And then that was shortly followed by another Final Fantasy announcement, being Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered coming to Switch and PS4, which is a huge surprise. This is the original GameCube game, which was a giant pain in the ass to play. You needed the GameCube game itself, 4 GBAs and 4 link cables, but if you could pull it off, it was pretty darn cool. So that's a huge surprise. And then Nintendo announced that there's a limited edition Pikachu and Eevee Nintendo Switch announced, coming in at $399. It looks super cool, a lot of people are really excited for it. And finally, today, as the Nintendo Direct was announced, the new date for it, Nintendo also announced that the Nintendo Switch Online service would be launching in the United States, or well, worldwide as well, but on the 17th in the United States at least, and to be coming with a 1-week free trial. So that itself isn't, that was probably going to be announced before the previous Direct as well, I'm guessing, but we don't know for sure. But it does reaffirm they are going to be talking about Nintendo Switch Online in this Nintendo Direct. So before we get into our specific predictions, I suppose, what are your guys' thoughts on all that? Because we haven't really touched on any of this really in forms of, or in the form of discussing it. So yeah, do you think that was all slated for the Direct, and what do you think, all those announcements, and what do you think it means for the Direct itself?
I mean, it all comes across as if it was supposed to be part of the Direct. The only one I'm not sure of is Crystal Chronicles, just because it specifically was revealed during a Sony event. So I could see it kind of being for Nintendo, but it is odd that a game that originated on the GameCube was announced at a Sony event. So I don't know, that one's the loosest one to me, but all the others definitely feel like they were supposed to be in the Direct themselves. And I mean, probably the biggest surprise for me out of all of those was Civilization 6.
That's a big one.
Yeah, like that's a game I just did not predict. But then you think about it, it's like, playing that in handheld mode, I can see it work. It'd be fun. I'm down. I mean, I played a bit on PC, and I mean, it still is, oh my god, next turn, or like, oh good, I've been playing for 6 hours. How'd that happen? It's that type of game. So I can see having the portability of the Switch being kind of cool for that game.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with you, Derek. I think that all of those announcements were a lock for the Direct, except for possibly Crystal Chronicles, and it is weird because that game does have its origins on a Nintendo console, but that news did come out a little bit after the Final Fantasy 15 news, and as you said, during a Sony event. So that's the only one I'm not quite sure, and I'm actually going to say that Crystal Chronicles is not going to be in the Direct. However, FF15 absolutely was a Direct announcement, no doubt about that.
How weird, though, because like a decade ago, Crystal Chronicles was the Nintendo Final Fantasy franchise, right. And they lost all the numbered ones, they just got Crystal Chronicles. So how weird for it to be in a Sony press conference. But I agree with you, it'd be strange to have this in the Direct, and then have it immediately announced in Sony's pre-TGS tour. That's just kind of strange, so yeah, I think I'm with Ash there.
It feels weird because the game is a Nintendo game. It started off with Nintendo hardware. It was a big it used Nintendo's new accessory, being the GBA link cable. It feels weird not to announce that during a Direct, where it would get more hype than it would anywhere else, I think. Because no one saw this coming. no one saw this happening, and especially Nintendo fans who would be familiar with it.
But you're attempting to use logic talking about Square Enix announcements. I don't like, I completely agree with everything. Everything you're saying makes complete sense, Andre, but, since when has Square ever had a rhyme or reason to the way they announce things? Which is why, again, with the timing of the news, and just the fact that not everything Square does usually makes sense, I kind of don't think this is for the Direct, even though, by all logical accounts, it absolutely should have been.
I mean, well, yeah, there's no accounting for Square logic. This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, I can totally understand the logic of putting Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD on the Switch. Seems a little weird to have it also on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, that is true. It does seem like a much better fit for the Switch than the other platforms, considering the game actually exists on those other platforms. Now, John, you famously predicted Final Fantasy VII in our original predictions. So what's your stance on that going into this, given the two big Final Fantasy announcements we've already had pertaining to Nintendo?
So, Square tend to do things in bulk with Nintendo Directs. In the past, we've had Dragon Quest 7 and 8 announced at the same time. We had Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2 at the same time. So, I'm thinking, now they have their own Nintendo port studio, I'm thinking they're not only going to bring 7, but they're going to bring 7, 9, 10, and 12. So, all of the lower tier HD PS4 games, I think, are all going to come to Switch. And I'm also thinking, not for the Direct, I mean, this will all be in the Direct, for sure, it's a lock, but there's also going to announce that Crystal Chronicles games, not just the GameCube one, but also the 2 WiiWare games, My Life as a King and My Life as a Dark Lord, are going to come. So they will be announced for next year, but all the other ones are coming very soon. So 7, 9, 10, and 12.
I think you're a madman. You've gone. you just one up yourself. You like 5 up yourself. You're raising the stakes here.
I don't see all that being announced during the Direct, but I do agree with you, John. I 100% believe that 7, 9, 10, and 12 are coming to the Switch eventually. Like, I think that's a matter of time. But man, that's a bold prediction to say all this is going to happen during the Direct. I hope you're right. I 100%
I can try and rationalize it. Dragon Quest Builders runs on the same engine as 10 and 12, and that engine, until now, has only been on PlayStation and PC. So it seems like some sort of licensing deal has expired there. So maybe that engine can be used, and I think that engine also powers Kingdom Hearts. So perhaps a collection could come out of the Kingdom Hearts games.
You're just...
You gotta shut John down here. He's going off the deep end. I respect it, though. I respect the logic.
And here I was just hoping for a Final Fantasy VI remake in the same, using the same engine as Octopath.
Yeah, I mean that would actually be pretty darn amazing. But somehow that seems less likely than John's prediction.
It's weird, isn't it?
Let's see here. I guess real quick, we can touch on the limited edition Pikachu and Eevee Nintendo Switch, which has gotten a lot of people excited. Like, I don't think I've seen this level of excitement regarding the Switch itself since the announcement. A lot of people want to pick up this version of it. Derek, you're a big Pikachu or a big Pokemon guy. Are you going to be picking one of these up?
Probably not, because I don't normally pick up a lot of these special edition ones they release, and there's so many special edition everything Nintendo releases, especially when it came to 3DS. But I can understand why people are excited for this one, because one, the design on the Joy-Cons are wonderful. I really like what they did there. It's a very, I don't know, just a good look to them. But it's also the first time we've had a designed dock that's part of these bundles. Like, we've had like Splatoon Joy-Con, we've had a Pro Controller for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, we've had Mario Odyssey related stuff, but we've never had a customized dock, and that's what this is offering, and I think that makes it feel a little bit more special. Plus, it comes with the other stuff that you need for the game, like the actual game and the Pokeball Plus, so it's not a bad deal. I don't know if it saves you any money, but at least it's all there in one go.
Yeah, I think that well played. So I think that is I think that's one of the reasons why it is exciting is a custom dock. However, while it may be the first time we've officially seen a custom dock, it might not be the first time we've actually seen a special bundle like this, because there was a leak a few weeks ago, a supposed leak that a lot of people thought was fake at the time, of a similar Super Smash Brothers bundle, including its own customized dock. However, now that we've seen the artwork, the box art for this new Pikachu and Eevee edition, the branding matches up perfectly with the Smash Brothers one, which lends it a lot more credence, unless A, that's an amazing coincidence, or B, the person who did fake it, if it is fake, somehow saw it leak at the Pikachu and Eevee one first, which seems unlikely. So it lends credence to the idea that the Smash one is also real, which I think will also be big whenever they announce that. If that is coming, do you think that'll be announced in this Direct?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I reckon before Smash comes out, I think we'll have one more dedicated Super Smash Bros. Direct. And I reckon that's when we'll see it.
I agree.
So my prediction is we won't see that just yet, but I do think that the Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee bundle will be in this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think they're gonna have two competing limited editions in the same Direct. So we're gonna get Pikachu and Eevee, and that's gonna be it. But we will get a Smash one in part of its own Smash Direct, as you said.
I mean, it might end up in a Smash Direct, but what we do know is that, as you said, Andre, we're going to learn more about the online, and I'm kind of wondering what the heck more they have to talk about. Like, yay, we're going to get details, but it's kind of all out there unless they have some sort of surprise, and we were talking about this in the previous predictions video. And I guess, do you still think they're going to get some sort of special SNES game or something to make it a little bit more enticing? Outside, of course, the free 7 days that we have to play this.
Yeah, so I did predict there would be some kind of Super Nintendo game, partially because we have the an icon of the classic controller being leaked via the 6.0 firmware. I don't know if that means anything in and of itself for the near term. But I think that they do need something to spice it up a little bit more, because the Nintendo Switch Online is otherwise a completely known factor. It's not an exciting known factor. In fact, it's only been disappointing in recent times with the news that not every game will support cloud saving, including an upcoming one such as Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. So that's a big disappointment. So I think they need to kind of redeem themselves a bit here, or I mean they don't have to, but I think they do need to sell it. And I think one way to do it would be to show the NES games, show that they're online, alright, whatever, who cares, but then show, by the way, there are Super Nintendo games coming. They won't be there at launch, but I think they'll announce that they are coming. And I think that will get people a bit more excited, at least for it. Like, if we can play Super Mario Kart online, that's exciting. Forget Balloon Fight. I won't play Mario Kart online, so...
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Super Nintendo games are coming, but not at launch. But I also don't think there's going to be anything else beyond that to entice people into this service. I do unfortunately think that what we've seen and what we've been told about so far is basically what we're going to get, other than perhaps the addition of Super Nintendo games coming after launch.
Yeah, they have emphasized time and time again that we're getting 20 NES games, and I don't think that's going to change. But I do think they'll pull a Wii U, where they kind of say, oh, we're going to give you Game Boy Advance and DS and N64 games, but we're not going to tell you when. And that's pretty much what they'll do.
Right, that's probably pretty accurate. I'm going to go one step farther, though, but I did before as well, so I might as well repeat this prediction. I think they've already announced that you'll get special deals, for instance, special deals or discounts as part of the Nintendo Switch Online service. And I think they could tie into this the announcement that there will be like a new mode or something in Mario Kart. We've been seeing them add a lot of stuff to Mario Kart recently in the form of like Labo support, including the vehicle kit coming up, as well as the Breath of the Wild Link or Champion Link being added to the game. So I think Mario Kart 8 is a perfect vehicle, so to speak, to add a Nintendo Switch Online support by announcing like a new mode or a new map or a new track or something, like a new battle map. Just something to entice people to subscribe in order to play Mario Kart again. Because I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Online, but I haven't played it really in months because it's old news now, as are most of the online games on the Switch. So I think they need something to pull people back in and like convince people why they should subscribe to this service, or at least try it out with a 1-week free trial. Which also, by the way, real quick, I've had longer free trials for pretty much like everything. I mean,
yeah.
I guess we have been in like kind of like an extended free trial for the past year and a half. But 1 week isn't really that exciting also. And on top of that, that means if you... actually, Derek, you did the update for the online service, right? This morning?
Correct.
Do you know, is it 1 week for everyone from the start date of the service? Or do you sign up for it and get 1 week?
They didn't say that, so I'm assuming it's... whenever you sign up, you get 1 week.
Okay, that'd be way better. Yeah, I hope that's the case, because otherwise, if everyone signs up on the day it comes out, being the 17th, right? Then that would mean it would end a couple weeks before Super Mario Party, which is their next online game. So yeah, unless you want to replay a bunch of old games online, there's not too much that's going to be exciting here, unless they announce some big online game as part of this Nintendo Direct that comes out, or it's not a big online game, but like some kind of online game launching alongside it, for instance. But I don't think they will be.
Not really. I mean, honestly, the only thing I really expect from this is here's the rest of the NES games you're gonna have available from the start, and here's the details that we've already said on the website, but we're gonna put them on the Direct here, so now everybody knows about all these deals. And there you go, coming the 17th.
Well, one thing they do quite often is they put new costumes in Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. So I reckon, if you remember that Nintendo Switch shirt in Breath of the Wild that came out at launch, I reckon they're going to have another one of those, but it will say Nintendo Switch Online on it, and you can go around Hyrule wearing it and show all your friends that you're a subscriber to Nintendo Switch Online.
You know, it's funny, this is going to sound snarkier than I mean it to be, but we're all talking about things they could add to entice people into the service. Really, all they need to do for me is to take away comm errors. If this new update takes away communication errors out of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that alone is enough for me to go back and play more, knowing that I'll actually have a smooth online experience. So I don't think we're going to get anything like in Mario Kart or any downloadable stuff, anything again beyond perhaps Super Nintendo games. But if this service can just take away the communication errors, maybe that's enough.
That'd be nice. I don't think it will be though, because it's
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because they're not updated. I don't think they're gonna update the old games, so they're still gonna be peer to peer. Nothing's gonna change with them. I think our best hope is that moving forward, the games are just designed with online better. So I mean, here's hoping. I mean, Smash Brothers really is a big question for me. Like, how's that online going to work? Is it going to work better than it has before? That's really going to be a big sticking point when it comes to Nintendo Online, I think. Unfortunately, those questions I don't think will be answered in this Direct. But I do have a question for you guys. So, as I kind of touched on already, most of the online games are kind of old news on the Switch. There's nothing been particularly exciting to play online super recently. So, I think the best way to sell the online is to announce more upcoming games. Right now, we do have, to be fair, we do have Super Mario Party, which has an unlimited online mode. We know Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee will have some online in the form of trading and battling. Then there will be Super Smash Brothers. And is that it? I think, is that it for all the big games so far?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else they could announce, foreseeably, realistically, that could really sell this online service, you think? Something that they could show off and act as a reason for, yeah, that's why I need this service. Because, like, take Smash Brothers, for instance. It's entirely possible to play that game without even touching online and having a great time. Is there another game they could announce that may not quite fit the bill?
It needs to be social, that's the thing. Like, if it's just F-Zero or something, well, that would be great. That's not really a big push for why you should subscribe to online. So I reckon it has to be a game that takes advantage of all of the online features.
Now, hold on, John. I do remember there was a little game, I think, on the 64 or GameCube that I believe was branded as like some kind of social game. I forget the exact term they used. Do you know where I'm going with this, though, or?
I don't know. Maybe if you turn over a leaf, you'll find it.
Nice. Well, this was actually a bold prediction I made in our original predictions discussion. At the time, it sounded crazy, but of course, we're talking about Animal Crossing, and I'm doubling down on that. Not only am I doubling down on it, but I think it's even likelier now, given the Nintendo Switch Online connection, which I didn't really think of at first. I didn't take that angle. I just kind of predicted it anyway because it feels like it's time. It's been so long, but I think it's happening.
And it has been 6 years since New Leaf. That is a ridiculous long time. We know it's in the works. There's no way it hasn't been. So yeah, the question is now the time?
It's gotta be.
Right?
Yeah. Remember on Wii U, they had the Animal Crossing Plaza with all these HD assets, and they never really did anything with them apart from Amiibo Festival.
Right.
It's time to have a proper HD Animal Crossing. I mean, we've never had... Our only console games were the GameCube one and the Wii one, which both, of course, are SD games, so... Yeah, it's time for a HD Animal Crossing, and there's so much they can do with all these new online features, provided online is capable.
I mean, right, that's really the thing. But they've done online Animal Crossing before, but it's always been pretty limited. So I'm hoping this is a chance they can really blow the doors open, really make Animal Crossing more of an online, more of a social online experience, and really step it up a notch, because that is how you could potentially sell the Nintendo Switch Online service. If you position it as you kind of need it to play the game, not that they will, or rather, more specifically, I don't think you'll need it to play the game, but they sell it as if, hey, you're missing a big part of this game without the Nintendo Switch Online. I think that could be exciting. Not because I'm excited to pay more to play Animal Crossing, but because I'm excited for what it could mean for Animal Crossing itself. Because I think the series has been held back by Nintendo's historically offline stance, and there is so much more they could do with this series. They've really embraced online. online. And that's how you sell Nintendo Switch Online. Show us what you can do in Animal Crossing.
Not to mention, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp came out this year, and it's really fallen off. It's fallen off the grid. And I think the main reason for that is there's nothing really supporting it. So what if that sort of ties in with this Animal Crossing game, and they both sort of bring each other up? And there's tons of social aspects in that game too. Like you can have a huge friend list and sort of exchange gifts. So what if they kind of just reinvigorate that and sort of incorporate those social mechanics into the Switch game?
Yeah,
I mean,
I 100% expect that.
Yeah.
As you guys said, there's so many possibilities here. Like, just imagine being able to form little communities with your friends and being able to help each other and have, like, this common area you come down to and that you can customize and work together on, or something to that degree. Because, I mean, I assume you're going to be the mayor again, because that was a really popular choice, and that, I think, really made all the difference for people and really got them invested in New Leaf. So, I feel like there's so many different things they can do to make this community aspect just work that much better. And whatever they do, Animal Crossing fans are going to eat it up. It really feels like that, because Animal Crossing fans just want a new game at this point.
It's been forever, yeah, and the Switch is such a great platform for it. Although, okay, so here's one specific prediction, kind of, I suppose, or more of a commentary, I think. The Switch, on the one hand, is the perfect system for it. On the other hand, it kind of isn't, in my opinion. But I think it almost holds it back in a way, because the game still has to be designed to play offline. They can't go full online with it because you won't be connected all the time if you want to play it outside the house. So in that sense, this game can't be a persistent online game, which means you won't be able to, like, it's a one hope would be like you could live in the same town with your friends, and I don't know how they can make that work if you're playing offline a bunch of the time. However, what I think they could do that would be neat is have a shared online place with your friends, like a shared community, like almost like they had the city folk. In City Folk, you took the bus into the city. They could do something like that, where you have like this little community, these little communal areas that you can set up with your own friend groups. I think maybe John might have been touching on that a little bit, and you can customize them together. And you can like just hang out there. So if you want, you can just have a chill time. Or they could be like islands, maybe. Maybe there's different islands you go to. You might run into other people there, including your friends. And these are all just shared places. And you can interact with them. Like put down, like if you want to throw down a statue there, sure, why not? Do what you want. Set up a TV, like by a tree, a tree.
There you go. Made it work.
Yep.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
So what if Animal Crossing is how we get the Super Nintendo games? What if they're not part of the online subscription service? They're just in there.
That would be amazing. Yeah, they're not gonna do that though. I think Animal Crossing came at a very special time, and we're never gonna see Nintendo do that again. Where they add a bunch of games in for free without tying into some other paid service. So, all right, let's move on to more predictions. So who's got something for me?
I've got a safe one, which is that I don't think we're going to see any Labo presence in this direct. Despite the vehicle kit kind of being the hot thing right now, Labo-wise, I do think Nintendo likes to market those separately, and I don't think they feel like there's much of an audience for Labo in their traditional direct audience. So I do not expect to see Labo in this direct.
So you're not expecting Yoshi's Crafted World, a game made entirely of craft and cardboard, to have any Labo support?
I thought about that, but no, I kind of don't. I think we're definitely going to see Yoshi's Crafted World get a formal announcement with that name, no doubt about that. But no, maybe we'll see Labo functionality for that later, like in a separate announcement, maybe like a separate trailer. But I don't expect to see Labo in this direct.
Well, here's my prediction, which ties into that and Yoshi. I reckon that there will be Labo support, and much like how Woolly World had those woolly yarn amiibo, I reckon you'll be able to build your own amiibo out of cardboard. So, like, they have like a chip or something that you put inside of the cardboard, and you just sort of build your own little Yoshi. And it could be a monstrosity, it could be whatever you want it to be.
A monstrous Yoshi? I love that idea, John. The building your own amiibo? Okay, people would lose it if you could build your own amiibo. And by the way, there is some precedent for that, because a Mario cereal box had a cardboard amiibo chip inside it. So they're already kind of halfway there. So if you build your own monstrous Yoshi around it, oh man, that would be kind of incredible, and it would explain the delay. And we've seen like Nintendo, like originally we had, when Labo was first announced, we discussed whether they would expand it to their main franchises. I argued they would, and we've seen that bore out a little bit with Mario Kart, with it getting all kinds of Labo support, including the upcoming vehicle kit. So it might explain why perhaps they delayed Yoshi's Crafted World at this point, in order to incorporate Labo and kind of like better sell that. So I kind of love your idea, John. That'd be neat. I don't think it'd be essential to the game. If it were, I think Labo would be in the title. So I think it'd be purely a side thing or like a bonus to it. But I think it'd be a neat idea if they did find some way to incorporate it.
I don't know if it'll have Labo support. I'm kind of leaning more towards Ash, where they won't reveal Labo support in this direct. They'll just reveal sometime later on to say, like, sort of like Mario Kart. It's like, hey, yeah, now we're doing this update. Now, Crafted World, you can use this stuff, and there you go. There's some kind of Labo support that you can enjoy, unless the Amiibo idea is right, because that would definitely get released at the same time, because it just makes sense even outside of Labo itself. Just being able to use that Labo technology to build your own Yoshi or whatever you might have. I do think, though, with the idea of a crafted world, I feel like there's going to be some sort of level creator in this game. It just makes sense.
Either a level creator or there's going to be some serious level interaction here.
Right.
You know, to the point where like the level's unfolding as you're going through it, or you're making conscious, or you're making conscious choices throughout it that affect the level. Like you're building it yourself in a way. So maybe it's not a true level creator, but maybe you are building it as you go. So I mean, there's a lot of potential here. Like this could be, I mean, the name's probably getting me way more excited than I should be, because when we saw the E3, it didn't look too exciting. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does have a different look or gameplay style to it now, much as the original Yoshi's Woolly World itself saw a pretty major redesign from its announcement to release.
Oh, that'd be cool to just have, like, gather up materials and you build, like, different paths, and depending on where you build, you actually have access to different areas. That'd be a cool new form of exploration.
Even, like, actually kind of tie into John's idea. What if you build, like, these different amiibo figures out of Labo, and then you scan them in at different points in order to build the world? So, like, you reach, like, preset locations. Like, hey, what do you want to drop in this place? You know, like a column or a block, I don't know. But a thwomp. You just thwomp enemies.
There you go.
Or if there were, like, different materials, and depending on which materials you collect, you can build out in different ways or access different levels. I love all of these ideas. I don't know if any of them are happening, but I love all these ideas, chief among them being yours, John, of the buildable amiibo. I love that idea. I don't necessarily think it's happening, but I think there's a chance, and I think it's really cool if it does.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead and move on real quick. I want to take a step back, actually, for a moment from the Nintendo Switch. Let's touch on the 3DS, because we know it's going to be a part of the Direct that was previously announced. So let's just go over real quick what we think will be here. And I'm going to restate one of my past predictions, being the fact that we will see Luigi's Mansion 3DS in here. I don't think that's a surprise. However, as I predicted before, I think there will be a multiplayer feature of this game. We haven't seen anything new yet really added to it beyond like a boss rush. And I think there's going to be a hidden feature here that they haven't talked about. And I think it will be a multiplayer feature, possibly a cooperative feature, which I think would be really neat.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's solid. Yeah.
3DS wise, I mean, the funny thing is that last year we actually had a Direct on the 13th. Like, it's like we are literally getting a Direct 1 year after the last one. And last year's was 45 minutes long, and a surprising chunk of that, 10 minutes of it, in fact, was devoted to the 3DS. Now, I don't think we're going to necessarily get that many, but it sort of gives you an idea of exactly how much 3DS content we can expect from it. And one thing I completely forgot to mention with that whole thing is that we do have Yokai Watch blasters coming out, or is already out. I'm not really keeping up with it, but I imagine they'll have some sort of section in there, and maybe that'll even serve as the transition from 3DS to Switch, because there is Yokai Watch 4 coming, so maybe we'll get that, but I don't even know if we've gotten Yokai Watch 3 yet. Like I said, I don't keep up with the series, so there will definitely be a yokai presence.
I feel like Yokai Watch Switch might be one of those games that's only in the Japanese Direct, because I'm pretty sure that's due for this year in Japan, and they haven't really given all that many details. So I reckon that we'll probably see that in the Japanese only one. But I think you're totally right about the 3DS game being shown here. Also, I think we'll see 2 other 3DS games. I reckon one of them will make people go, "What?" and another will make people go, "What?" So I think
Wait, are you Ike?
I reckon one of them will be a remaster of Golden Sun. And that's the one that's going to make people go, "What?" So, a lot of people want that on Switch, obviously, or some sort of continuation for Switch, and that's the one that's going to upset people. And I reckon the one that's going to confuse people will be Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Huh.
That's my prediction.
You're thinking Epic Yarn on 3DS.
they have been kind of bringing some random titles to the 3DS, like Luigi's Mansion. So I see where you're coming from.
Exactly. That's the exact frame of mind I was having there. Just sort of games that can quite easily go to 3DS. Without really having any changes at all. And Epic Yarn's a game that doesn't really have that many motion controls in there. And if there are some, they're quite easy to change. And plus, Woody World's on 3DS as well, and they're kind of spiritual successors to each other.
That's why I was able to picture it so easily. Yeah, I forgot Woody's World was on the 3DS. Do you guys have any expectations for Bowser's Inside Story? Do you think you'll see anything like major new from it, or will it be more of the same?
My prediction is the Minions mode, or whatever they're calling it in this game. My prediction is it will still look as boring as it did in the last game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much to say about this. We're getting a remastered Bowser's Inside Story, which is great, and then the Minions mode, which is just sort of there.
Yeah. I will say that on the 3DS front, I do also expect to see Persona Q2. I do think that's going to get covered in the Direct as well.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as those Golden Sun remasters, I can kind of see it. Especially, let's put it this way, We talked a little bit about Smash Ultimate last time, and how we don't expect there to be too much announced for it, like maybe a new fighter and a new Echo. And we tossed out a few, and the one I wanted to think of, and I just couldn't at the time. It kind of just didn't come to me. Isaac is sort of that perfect character that's not exactly huge, but would still get certain people excited as far as a Smash announcement for Switch. And to tie it in for some kind of Golden Sun remasters, as much as I would like it on Switch, 3DS is way more likely. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, Isaac's not an assist trophy either, but that being said, he was also not an assist trophy in Smash Bros. For Wii U or 3DS.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure how much that really says.
The only reason I'm really thinking Isaac has a good chance is because of that screenshot with Rathalos, where they're lined up in the exact same way as Golden Sun. That is telling to me, like something Golden Sun related is coming to Smash.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. I don't think it'll be in the form of a new character, though. So, like an assist trophy or something. But yeah, I don't see a new character. I don't see Isaac coming to the game. Sorry.
I feel like Isaac does have a chance, but I don't expect him to be announced. If he does have a chance, I don't expect him to in the Direct.
Well, let's talk about Smash then real quick, because as part of this, I mean, I think we've all agreed there will probably be a new character here, and lending credence to this idea, perhaps, is the fact that there was no Friday update in the Smash Brothers blog when there has always been one before, presumably because the update they wanted to make, they couldn't because it was going to be in the Direct, and they had nothing to fill in that gap. So yeah, I think there is still a new character coming. Before I predicted Geno, I still absolutely think Geno is coming, but I no longer think he'll be in this Direct. I think we make it something else. And, you know, speaking of Animal Crossing, do you think if that is in this Direct, do you think it could be related to that?
I do think Isabelle has a chance of being announced as an Echo Fighter. I was mentioning that I think there's going to be one newcomer and one Echo Fighter announced, and I think the Echo Fighter's either going to be Isabelle or Shadow. And if there's an Animal Crossing focus, that makes sense.
To cut in there a sec, I think Isabelle will not be an Echo Fighter. I reckon she'll have her own moveset. So I sort of said in the previous predictions, I can't really imagine her wielding an axe or any of these other villager moves, so, I mean, it would be hilarious if she did. But I reckon they can devise an entirely new moveset around Isabelle without making her an Echo.
You know what I just thought of as far as what you could do for her moveset? She basically summons the other Animal Crossing villagers.
Oh,
that would be cool.
Oh, that is
like her up smash would just be Rossetti coming up to like pop up underneath the next character.
That would be
and Rossetti's
awesome.
been missing since Brawl as an assist trophy.
That's
that
right.
Was so good.
Oh man.
I do like that idea a lot. I kind of still think she's going to be an Echo Fighter, but I can now see where she might be a full newcomer. Where before I'm like, I don't really see how that could be the case, but I do love that idea of her summoning other Animal Crossing villagers.
Yeah, that'd be a good fit actually. So
yeah.
Any other Smash predictions, or do you think that might be it? Any other characters potentially, or anything else as it pertains to the game?
Yeah, so Smash Brothers is the culmination of the largest franchises in gaming, and I was kind of looking at the list of the best-selling games ever, and one franchise is oddly missing in Smash, and that's Tetris. Now, we do have a Tetris theme in there.
Oh my god.
And I'm not predicting like the L block as a playable character, but I am predicting a Tetris stage. And
so cool.
Wouldn't it just?
That would be
and
cool.
Like just like the classic monochrome display, just have the blocks just coming down. and like, have them as platforms as well at the same time. Like have the dynamic of them being able to change what the platforms are like and them depleting. And it's just such a shame that something like Tetris is not even an assist trophy in Smash, when it's so tight to Nintendo and it's so huge for gaming. So I reckon that we'll get a Tetris stage in this direct.
Okay, so I love the concept, and a stage would be cool, but I want a playable Tetris piece now.
Right, playable L block.
I'm reminded actually of the Mega 64 sketch, one of their earliest sketches where they ran around as an L block in real life, and it was hilarious, just like fitting on the various objects. But not just that, Ash. I think while the L shape could possibly be its primary form, I think it'd be cool if it's a shapeshifter. It could change into any of the shapes just by moving its blocks around, and it could have like it could turn into the block in order to drop quickly, a little bit like Kirby almost.
The final Smash could be like Tetris Effect, where they sort of slow down time and like make all these rows at once. That'd be really, really cool.
Oh, man.
That would be really awesome.
Like wherever you activate it, the horizontal line across it just wipes out everything.
You want your WTF character? That is your WTF character of this game.
That's true.
We've been missing it. This could be it. Oh my god. If it's Tetris Piece, I will be forever content.
That would be
even if they don't put in Gino.
Even if they don't put in, I don't care anymore. Gino's old news now. I want Tetris Piece.
Wow. Well, I can't claim to be predicting a WTF character, but I will say that I am doubling down on my original prediction that the newcomer we do get is going to be a Generation 7 Pokemon. I don't know why, it's just a gut feeling I have. It feels like it's time for a Sun and Moon Pokemon to be revealed for Smash. So
you think that will be the
prediction.
character revealed in this direct then?
I do for some reason. I think we're going to get an Echo Fighter like Isabelle or Shadow, and as well as a full newcomer, and I think that newcomer is going to be a Gen 7 Pokemon.
Okay.
Do you have any specific predictions on how that Pokemon will be?
Incineroar seems like the popular choice, so I think I'm going to go with Incineroar.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We don't really have a dedicated fire type anymore, because Charizard's now with the other Pokemon. And Incineroar, his Z move is sort of catered to be a Final Smash as it is. Like, it's very cinematic, there's not really much player input, he just sort of dives into a wrestling ring. So yeah, I think he lends himself really well to Smash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that covers it for Smash pretty well, so let's go ahead and move on to another prediction, and I'll throw one out here, because I made it before, it's such an easy one for me. There were rumblings of a new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and I think now might be the time for it to be announced. I think it'll be the base game, the original game plus new Super Luigi U, and possibly a new character thrown in there. But what I'm really hoping, or wondering perhaps, is what if I think this is a long shot. I'm not predicting this part, but I'm throwing it out as a hope. What if this is tied into the Nintendo Switch Online service? What if this is how, or what if they announced it as co-op play online? You can play with your friends, and this is like a way of selling Nintendo Switch Online. I think that could be a fun way to get people back into this game, to rebuy it even.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
I could definitely see that. That would be a good method, I'd say.
I really want that. It feels like ever since New Super Mario Bros. Came to Wii, the original Wii, the reviewers have always been saying oh, this game needs online, and it's just something that comes up with every Nintendo platformer. Where's the online component? And maybe it's time to remedy that. The way I kind of envision this game is they show it off, and they have the New Super Mario Bros. U campaign. Then there's New Super Luigi U, and then I'm predicting they sort of they fade to black, and you just sort of hear wah, and then Wario comes in, and you get New Super Wario Bros.
No.
U.
Oh man.
Yes, yes,
no, please God,
yes.
No.
Playable Wario and Waluigi.
and still just two Toads as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that idea. I'm not gonna predict it, but I hope that's it, because that'd be fantastic. So
I hate you for even putting that out into the world, John. Why would you even?
Because it'd be amazing. That would be so great.
Do you guys think if we do get a deluxe port of New Super Mario Bros. U, which I do think is going to happen? If this does happen, do you think they'll bring back the asymmetrical multiplayer where the person with the Switch, you can have people playing on the TV with their Joy-Con, and then the person with the Switch can add in the little blocks and things?
Nope.
No.
Not
I
happening.
don't even know anybody that used that.
No, totally, I agree.
Totally. First off, it would require two Switches. I don't think it'd be worth the effort. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
I guess they could. They could use a pointer too, which you may have said.
That's what I was saying. Just the person with the Switch has that. But I agree. I don't think they're going to bring it back. I don't think there's really any reason to.
Yeah, I don't either. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even that fun. It just kind of broke the
Right.
game. So
Yeah.
All right, I need another prediction, guys. I'm hungry for predictions. Give me something.
All right. I'm actually embarrassed to admit that I completely forgot about this one, although I think there's a reason for that because I don't think we're going to actually see it in the Direct. But people did mention to me that I forgot to mention Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh.
And that is coming out next year. But for some reason, I just don't think it's time for new information on that yet. I feel like we're still a little ways out. Like maybe we'll see a new character or something like that, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to ramp up until a little later in the year.
I feel like Three Houses still needs its big hook. It looks great,
Yeah.
and your analysis showed us a ton of new details for it. But I'm not really seeing anything that's making me go wow, I need this game. So if they do show it, I hope there's just something really interesting about it that hasn't really been done before in Fire Emblem.
I don't think we're going to see it. I'm just saying I agree with you.
So, I've got another prediction. So, if you remember a long time ago, there was a Rayman game, Rayman Legends, which was going to be exclusive for Wii U, and then it wasn't. And my prediction is Rayman Space Adventures is going to be exclusive to Nintendo Switch. And much like Legends, which was themed around medieval times, this is themed around space and traversal around different planets. And it is a 2D Rayman platformer, much in the vein of Origins and Legends, apart from you go around space, go to different planets, and you save the world.
Where are you pulling this stuff from?
I know.
What the hell? I love it. I mean, hey, that ends up being true.
I'm down for it because I
Yeah.
love Legends and Origins.
I'll take
bring
it.
it on.
Sure.
Now, you're making Roger's predictions seem like normalized now, man. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, if it does, I will eat
dismissal.
a hat. So,
Yeah.
Let's say Rayman 2 is going to get a port.
all right. There
I mean,
you
it's,
go.
it's kind of surprising we haven't yet. That and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, where is Resident Evil 4?
Where is it?
It's on my list. I was going to bring it up next time.
How was
only
that?
a
Yeah,
matter of
right. That's a good one for next time. How's that been on literally like every platform? Yeah, it's not on the best-selling one currently. I don't get it.
Right.
Like, what Capcom? What are you
Waiting
doing?
for October.
You know it's only a
Yeah.
matter of time.
We need
It's
it.
going to happen.
There's so much they can do too. Like the Revelations ports have they have motion aiming, they have some kind of gimmicky IR reloading. There's a lot you can do, and there's never been like a portable Resident Evil 4 before, apart from that mobile stuff we don't talk about. But there's been so many versions, but none of them are portable, and it is time to finally release it on Switch.
It'd be great if they actually. I mean, I would love a remastered version of the game. Like, I still think the game looks great, but it'd be nice if they went back and redid some of the textures, particularly with the fan-made mod on PC that has some amazing texture work, which they're really going out of their way to match the original textures of the game. Like, they're even finding the original sources for some of those textures and reapplying to the game in much higher definition, or going. I think they're actually traveling the world, like taking pictures of the things development staff took pictures of and re-implementing them in the game. So what Capcom should do is just license those textures and put those in the RE4 port for Switch. So
It's seriously impressive though, like the work they're
It
doing.
is.
If you compare Capcom's HD version to this fan project, it's like they've almost remade the game. They've done so much. The work in there is incredible.
it really is. Anyone else got another prediction?
I've got one more. I do think we're going to get a segment on Starlink Battle for Atlus that goes really heavy on the Star Fox stuff. Just so Nintendo can remind people, hey, Starlink's coming, and hey, if you get it on Switch, you get this really cool Star Fox content. I don't expect, more than a couple of minutes, even a minute, but I do think there is going to be a segment covering that.
Yes or no? Will we see Wolf?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So they kind of hint towards Wolf in the opening cutscene a bit. And
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. I could go either way on that.
Do you guys think we'll see any other teases though for like upcoming games? Do you think we'll see like Metroid Prime 4 here, for instance?
I'm still thinking no.
Yeah,
I think we'll see
don't know.
Prime 4 at the Game Awards, but I don't think we'll see it now.
Yeah,
I think
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Perfect Game
I can see
Awards
that.
fodder.
Right.
Absolutely. That and Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, that'd be a good combo.
Honestly, I'm thinking maybe a few low-key things like we just got that announcement of more Sega Ages games coming to the Switch, but we don't have a US English release date for the first set of games. So I think we might get that, so we know when Sonic and Phantasy Star and all that is coming to the States and worldwide, honestly.
Yeah, every time we talk about Sega Ages, I always want to just scream, like, where is Saturn and Dreamcast? I know it's too early, because they haven't even launched the Mega Drive games yet, but I hope they do it sometime. Hopefully next year. Hopefully.
We'll get it for the September Direct next year, John. We'll have to wait.
That'll be our prediction next time.
I hear you, though. I want it.
There is another game we forgot that will almost definitely be in the Direct, and that's Splatoon 2. They just announced, in fact, that the DLC was delayed again, the upcoming big update, by another week. But I do think it will be shown in the Direct. They'll show more of it, give us a full overview of the Splatoon 2 update.
Yeah, that's a good guess, and I wonder if maybe they're gonna up the ante on their online support for Splatoon 2, because that was also delayed because of the Direct. So I wonder maybe if they're going to have some kind of new game mode that takes advantage of the new online features or something like that.
That'd be cool. I mean, that'd be one way to build hype. Bring people back into Splatoon. What if they expanded Salmon Run? I don't know, put a new spin on it. Maybe add new maps at the least. Or add a revised way of playing it.
Yeah, I'd love that. Salmon Run's one of those game modes that I love it when I'm actually playing it, but I never really have the will to play it. I want to have more maps or something, because it is great fun.
It is great fun. What might be kind of cool is if they added just a true, ongoing, never-ending mode, where you just play as long as you survive, and just keep collecting eggs and see how long you can make it for. Because right now, it ends after 3 matches, or 3 rounds, so...
Like a horde mode kind of thing.
Yeah, horde mode, exactly, right.
Yeah. So the only Atlus game we've mentioned in this has been Persona Q2, and I guess it's probably too early, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a game in development for Switch, and it was one of the very first Switch games announced back in the January presentation in 2017, so it has been a long time, and I'm kind of wondering maybe it's time for a little tease of that game.
It still feels a little, just slightly early for it, but I hear you, and it's obviously coming, and I do think we're going to see it somewhat soon, but it still feels slightly soon for it.
I get you there. I hope we at least see something from Atlus as well. Maybe, I mean, it's optimistic, but I hope we see some kind of Persona port. If Persona 4 Golden comes to Switch, then I'm sorted for the year.
I mean, Switch is becoming an RPG machine, so...
I was going to say I was a little disappointed, John, because when you mentioned Atlus, I'm like, oh man, here we go. He's going to predict Persona 3, 4, and 5. And let's just throw in 1 and 2 for the ports for the Switch. And then he went with Shin Megami Tensei 5, which was far safer. But no, I totally hear you. I don't think it's quite time for Shin Megami Tensei 5. And yes, Persona 4 Golden for the Switch would be awesome, but I don't think it's happening. At least not yet.
Maybe we can get some classic ports of Atlus games. I'm trying to think of ones off the top of my head that would be good beyond Persona that would be good for the Switch, but kind of blanking at the moment.
there is a Wii U game from Atlus that has not been ported yet, and that is Tokyo
true.
Mirage Sessions. And we're sort of saying, how do we build up Fire Emblem? Maybe this is the kind of filler title that we need to just sort of give Fire Emblem a little bit more momentum until it comes out.
I absolutely do think we're going to see Tokyo Mirage Sessions eventually on the Switch. It just seems like the kind of title that needs a second shot in the spotlight, and I don't know. I think it's going to happen eventually.
And it's a great game. It's one of my favourite Wii U games, actually. It's a really good RPG. And I'm not a big fan of Japanese idol culture, but I still had great fun with it. And if it comes to Switch, then it's something that I really recommend.
All right. Who else has anything? Who else has another prediction for us, or do we have any left?
Yeah, the only thing I have left, and this is just because of the analysis I did yesterday, I completely forgot about. Maybe we'll get a Team Sonic Racing, some more details on the story mode, or at the very least, a release date for the game, since we still don't have a release date on that one.
Yeah, I think in the last predictions episode we skimmed over it and went straight to a Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform port, which kind of shows our level of enthusiasm for that. But actually, I've got to say, after your analysis, Derek, I am a little bit more interested in Sonic Team Racing. So maybe if they try and highlight the story mode a bit more, that might do it for it.
Yeah, I think that might be what sells people. Just give an idea, because we don't really know much of this game. That's the weird thing. It is coming out this year, and it's just not a lot out there about it. I think they said that. I think I saw somewhere there's supposed to be 21 courses, and we've only seen 3. So
yeah.
No wonder am I really feeling the hype for this game.
And what do you think we'll see of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in this beyond the limited edition Switch?
That's hard to say. I would have said, it's too early to show the next segment of what's going on there. So I feel like it's just going to be a small like feature, like here's this thing, but I have no idea what this thing could be. Maybe they'll show, like they've already shown what you can do from going from Go to Let's Go, so maybe they'll show what happens if you transfer something from Let's Go to Go.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that's the only like smaller thing I can think of that doesn't disrupt much.
Yeah. What I want to know of is what happens after the game. Because in the original games, you just kind of go into the Cerulean Cave, catch Mewtwo, and then just sort of catch everybody else. So I want to know if there's like a bonus episode, or if there's anything more to do after the game. And I guess, as you said, we're only up to like the fifth gym, I think, in fourth gym. So it's probably too early for that stuff.
A little bit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we still have a little ways to go on that, but I don't know. I still find myself oddly intrigued by the game. Like, I don't know if it's going to be my favorite in the series, but it's like, I'm kind of excited about this revisit.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, same here.
All right, guys. Anything else, or are we tapped?
Yeah, I'm more or less tapped.
You got nothing else you want to pull out of your hat there, John?
So this one's kind of based off Civilization 6. I was thinking, what other kind of games like that are generally PC games that could come to Switch? My thought was The Sims 4, which I think earlier this year or the year before came to PS4 and Xbox One. And this just seems like a no-brainer game from EA to bring to Switch. Because obviously games like Star Wars Battlefield Star Wars Battlefront or Battlefield are kind of a bit too intensive for Switch. But something like The Sims 4 seems very possible to me. And it kind of fits in that style of Civilizations, and maybe Nintendo are trying to get those sort of pick up and play strategy games or simulators to come to Switch. And yeah, The Sims just seems kind of like a natural addition to that to me.
I mean, you're talking strategy games, and we've already got Civ 6 from Firaxis. I mean, and we already had Mario and Rabbids to do the gameplay, so maybe we could actually see XCOM ports.
Oh, yeah, that's a great guess. Yeah, as you said, Mario & Rabbids kind of sort of has that kind of groove going already. And yeah, that totally fits in with these weird, wacky third-party ports we're getting. Like, who thought we'd get, like, Diablo on Switch? And I can totally see XCOM joining that.
XCOM with Metroid armor.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So, guys, how are you feeling about the Direct overall now? Now that it presumably is happening tomorrow, and we might know some things about it. How are you feeling now, especially as compared to last week? Like, what are your overall, like, where do you land on this in terms of hype?
Well, I think the thing is, this is 35 minutes long, and we know of maybe 4 things in here. There's still quite a lot to see, I reckon. So, as you said earlier, Andre, there's going to be some awkwardness maybe when they announce, like, Mega Man, the demo coming, like, today when it's already out. So that might be a little awkward, but that's only, like, a couple of seconds of a 35-minute presentation. So while I was at like 9 last week, I don't think I'm much lower this week, but I am a little bit lower. So maybe like 8.5.
Yeah, I would echo that. Probably about an 8.5. I can't remember what I think I said I was at a 9.5 before, and I think I've had just a little bit of the air kind of kicked out of it for me, just with the delay and with some of the fact that, some of the announcements have happened early because of the delay. But I'm still really excited, so yeah, I think I'm going to weigh in at about an 8.5 as well.
I'm going to maintain my 8 that I gave last week, just because everything we've seen come out, like, has been good stuff. Like, there's exciting things in here and stuff that we didn't expect, so I think that to have hopefully more in that vein would be really cool. And so I'm gonna stay at my 8. I'm feeling pretty good about this Direct.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll go. I think I was at 9 before. No, I forget. I think it was pretty high because of the Geno hype. Since I'm no longer riding quite that train. Yeah, I think I'll
but you got the L Block hype.
That's true. Well, I don't think that's actually going to happen. That'd be amazing if that happened. I don't think it'll happen. Yeah, I think 8.5 sounds about right. Or 8. I'll go 8.3. There we go. I'll split the difference.
Nice.
Yeah. And in the grand scheme, I'm actually surprised how little came out from the Direct.
Well, hopefully, how little.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But if, the Animal Crossing talk did get me a little bit excited to see that, and if it's paired with an Isabelle announcement, oh my god.
That would be amazing.
It'd be pretty great.
2019 is going to be great. I mean, we already know of a mainline Pokemon RPG coming next year. That and Animal Crossing, that's just huge. Like, that's another, like, Mario and Zelda, like, whammy. That's just, they're 2 giant titles.
Yeah.
And Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. That'd be great. So, yeah, pretty exciting stuff here, I'd say. with that, we're about done here. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find links to all those in the description below. Make sure to check out the Instagram one. We barely mentioned it, so follow us there. And with that, thanks for watching. Of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for lots more from Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Tons of stuff, I'm sure, including our upcoming impressions discussion and everything else Nintendo Switch as well. We'll catch you later. Bye.